You've totally been there, right? You write what you think is the perfect, super specific command for your AI. You hit enter, and what you get back is, well, it's brilliant, it's detailed, and it's completely 100% wrong. It is one of the most frustrating things about using these tools. But today, we're going to fix that. See, the problem isn't that your AI is dumb, it's that your instructions are, believe it or not, a gamble. Let's break down exactly why.
So, picture this. You ask for an analysis of Java. You're expecting, a deep dive into the programming language, but instead, you get this beautiful economic report on an Indonesian island. The thing is, the AI didn't fail. It made a perfectly logical guess. It just guessed the wrong intent. And that right there, that's the core problem we're going to tackle today.
I like to call this the wrong destination problem. You know exactly where you want to go, you give what feel like crystal clear directions, but you somehow end up in a totally different place. And this shows us that the real issue isn't about the AI's intelligence. No, it's something way more subtle about how we are communicating with it.
Think about it like this. Let's call it the taxi to the bank problem. You hop in a cab and you say, "Take me to the bank." Simple enough. The driver follows your instructions perfectly and drops you off at the edge of the river. Is the driver bad at their job? Of course not. Your instructions were specific, yeah, but they were also ambiguous. And that single distinction is the entire key to getting exactly what you want from your AI every single time.
Okay, so why does this keep happening? Our first reaction is usually to blame the AI, right? To think it's just not smart enough yet. But the real reason is that our prompts are actually forcing the AI to become a gambler. And it's not about a lack of detail, it's about something else entirely.
And here is the absolute crucial distinction you need to get. The problem usually isn't vagueness. A vague prompt is just lazy, like write something cool. It just lacks any real detail. The real culprit here is ambiguity. An ambiguous prompt is actually specific, like write a story about a bat. But does that mean the flying animal or the baseball equipment? The specificity is what actually creates the confusion.
And honestly, this is the main takeaway. Every single time you use a word that has more than one common meaning, you are basically pushing a big stack of chips to the center of the table and forcing the AI to bet on what you really meant.
You have to remember, the AI is not a mind reader. It's a prediction engine. So it looks at a word like Java or bat, and it calculates the statistical probability of each meaning based on its huge library of training data, and then it places its bet. If it guesses right, you think it's a genius. If it guesses wrong, you think it's an idiot. But the whole time, you're the one who sent it to the casino in the first place.
So how do we stop the AI from gambling and start getting guaranteed wins? Well, the answer is a simple but an incredibly powerful technique I call the three-step clarity check. I promise, this will fundamentally change how you write your prompts forever.
And it all just boils down to these 3 steps. First, you're going to spot the potential point of failure. Second, you're going to acknowledge the different paths the AI could go down. And third, you'll add one simple word to close off all the wrong paths and light up the right one.
All right, first up, identify. Before you hit that enter key, just take 3 seconds. That's it. Scan your prompt, look for any keyword, usually a noun, that could possibly be misinterpreted. You have to train yourself to see your own words from the perspective of a hyper-literal machine that has absolutely zero personal context about you.
Step 2 is to brainstorm. Now, once you spot that word, just quickly, mentally list out the other meanings. So if you write character, think, okay, a fictional person in a story, or a letter like the letter A. This super simple act forces you to see the hidden ambiguity that you probably would have otherwise completely missed.
And finally, step 3 is to add a clarity keyword. This is the magic part. You're not rewriting your whole prompt. Nope. You are just choosing the one single perfect word, that little bit of micro context that just slams the door on all the other interpretations and locks the AI onto your exact intent.
Let's see it in action. Before, you might write a story with a compelling character. It's ambiguous, but add one word, fictional, and suddenly it's impossible to misunderstand. The AI literally can't get this wrong now.
Let's do another one. You asked for a summary of the new bond. That could be a financial security, a type of glue, who knows? But add James Bond movie and boom, perfect clarity. The gamble is officially over.
And one more for good measure. Explain how to use a terminal. Are we at an airport, a hospital, a computer lab? Add command line, and you get the absolute maximum clarity from the minimum possible change. That is precision.
Now, I know this might seem like just a simple little trick, but what you're actually doing here is you're starting to think like an AI programmer. You're moving way beyond just using a tool, and you're starting to engineer precise outcomes.
What you're applying here are core principles of linguistics programming. You're achieving contextual clarity. You're making a strategic word choice with that little clarity keyword. And you're showing system awareness by understanding how the machine actually interprets language.
By mastering this simple check, you completely transform yourself. You stop being a passive user who's just surprised by the AI's stupid mistakes, and you become a programmer who engineers prompts that have one and only one possible interpretation. You're not just giving a vague heading anymore. You're filing a precise flight plan.
So the next time you go to write a prompt, just ask yourself this one question. Look at your words. Is there any ambiguity in there? Any tiny chance for misinterpretation? Or have you done the work to guarantee you'll land exactly where you want to go?